morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 9 day for this month of December 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they bring una the truth, where they bring una meaningful information, facts-based analysis for help we as we walk this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the Ambazonian Governing Council, they celebrate the successful launch of an RPG attack for inside the great state of Bui. We target a convoy we carry the colonial governor Lele Afrique, the chief terrorist, the person will be behind all the killings and maiming in Ambazonia. The convoy will be the pass for night for visit inside Bui and for stage a propaganda. Soon as we get the information, we launch this attack. The attack will be successful. It means the target, the particular vehicle will be the target, but indeed it crippled to La République du Cameroon, their armored car and one of their armored personnel carrier. It was a successful hit with 8 La République du Cameroon terrorist forces being neutralized on the spot. La République du Cameroon, their military, they fall for inside Ambazonia, Lemungwin. Now just a matter of time, made them bleed out of our territory. The Cameroon government, it lost more forces in Ambazonia than the United States. It lost them for inside Afghanistan for the last 2 years before America withdraw from Afghanistan. We will continue to bleed the enemy. We will continue to think strategically on how to impact the highest impact on the enemy, and we will let them know that we are in control of Ambazonia. Once more, we want to thank the Ngwakam barracks of the ADF under General Capo, who is the Major General and the leader of all the ADF forces in the great state of Bui, for the wonderful operation that was carried out with a quick notice. And Lele Afrique, this is the second time we have had a direct hit on his convoy. Eventually, the third time, we will not miss. Our forces across our territory are more prepared today than ever. They are more equipped today than ever. And we want to reassure our people as the posture for the transitional authority kicks into gear, and as the noise voices in Ambazonia die down, our people should be more familiar with the new approach to the liberation that does not involve too much noise making and infighting on social media. We will be more lethal, we will be more strategic, and the enemy will feel the pain even much more. But our people have to get into the mindset of this transitional period where we build our own authority. As the principle of the Governing Council says, independence means independence. That means Ambazonian taking primary responsibility for law enforcement, tax collection, provision of services across our national territory under the Ambazonian Transitional Liberation Authority, the ADLA, which is led by civilians under the authority and approval of our top generals across the states of Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, still in Amba to Amba issue, Julius Ayok Tabi yesterday granted on the 5th of December, granted an interview with the French-speaking newspaper where they call him say Le Jour. Julius Ayok Tabi, in that interview, he talks say he be ready for enter into negotiation with La République du Cameroon and reiterate a position them for get into negotiation way. Amongst them include the Cameroon government declaring a ceasefire and a request by Siseko for Cameroon Paul Biya to grant amnesty for Ambazonians who are in the diaspora, for them to be able to come back home for the preparation of any negotiation between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. This statement made by Siseko Ayok Tabi is irresponsible and a breach of confidentiality that have been engaged between the IG Care that is being led by Siseko Ayok Tabi, the Ambazonian Governing Council, the APLM, and to an extent the consortium led by Chomba, the international community, after the 1st of October this year have for the most part established Ambazonian leadership that is credible and that is capable of leading our nation. The main core of our liberation struggle is being led by the Ambazonian Governing Council, which is the most consequential organization and faction within the Ambazonian liberation struggle. The block between the Ambazonian Governing Council and the IGK, the APLM, and to an extent the consortium forms the most credible block that is capable and competent to lead Ambazonia into any negotiation with La République du Cameroon. The international community is aware, and Seseko Ayok Tabi is aware of the engagement of this bloc of Ambazonian liberation movement to remain silent on any issue regarding this matter until the appropriate time before the Ambazonian people and the international community can be engaged. The statement made by Ayok Tabi breaches the arrangement and understanding between the bloc of the major factions which are most consequential. The IGK is not the most consequential movement within the liberation struggle, irrespective of the impact and the wonderful impact Ayok Tabi have had within our liberation struggle journey. They, as of now, are not the most consequential. The Ambazonian Governing Council is currently the most consequential Ambazonian liberation struggle that will only second by the APLM. These are the only movement that have command and control forces on the ground and that have impact on a national and nationalistic stage within the Ambazonian liberation movement. Julius Ayok Tabi is not competent at this moment to negotiate on behalf of Ambazonia. Making reckless statement only puts to jeopardy the alliance that have been formed and that is emerging to represent Ambazonia in case of anything like to deal with a negotiation or engagement in the international level. It also puts to jeopardy and reduces Ambazonian principled position as a sovereign state and a sovereign people by making a demand for the Ambazonians in the diaspora to be granted amnesty. The Ambazonian people shall never ask for pardon, forgiveness, or amnesty to a foreign government that is currently occupying our land. Nobody will occupy your house and you ask for that person to give you permission to come in. La République du Cameroon must leave Ambazonia and must end its occupation. Cameroon have no reason, no right, no authority or legitimacy to be in Ambazonia. This is an occupation, it is a recolonization of our territory, and we will ask nothing such as anything that would demean our entitlement of our sovereignty. La République du Cameroon should end its occupation and withdraw from Ambazonia. Asking for amnesty is reducing the entitlement of Ambazonian sovereignty over our territory and ceding to La République du Cameroon some right to manage or somehow be capable of granting access or not to our people. Cameroon do not have that right. They don't have that entitlement. They are an occupying power and they should leave Ambazonia. Seseko Ayok Tabi shouldn't be commenting on issues such as ceasefire when the IGK do not have any command and control or any forces that are directly under their command and control. It is irresponsible. It is a projection of power for purposes of projection and positioning, which is irresponsible and undermines ongoing international engagement on behalf of the Ambazonian people to best represent the interests of our people and to adopt best practices that will give our people the best chances to maximize their chance to kick out La République du Cameroon through peaceful negotiated settlement that will see La République du Cameroon leave our territory. Julius Ayok Tabi have consistently undermined his own team that are engaged in international diplomacy and his representatives that should represent his authority. Prisoners do not negotiate. Prisoners do not have a chance to call for negotiation. Prisoners can only engage as much as they can liaise with the leaders who are actually leading actions, missions, and engagement in the confrontation with La République du Cameroon. We completely rejects the Ambazonian Governing Council position and policy, completely rejects any call or demand for a amnesty from La République du Cameroon. We reject it. we vehemently condemn it. The greatest distraction Ambazonian liberation have had is the IG claiming power they don't have and trying to project that power over the state, calling themselves head of state when nobody have elected them as head of state and misrepresenting themselves. Julius Ayuk Tabi is not competent to tell the War or La Republique that he is ready to negotiate. Even if he is ready, even if he wants to negotiate, he is not competent to do so on his own. And such statement only undermine ongoing effort in the international arena by the governing council, which is doing so in consultance and in alliance with the IG care that supposedly have a leader out of jail, when there is already an existence of an understanding and engagement for confidentiality and media silence until the ripened time and an appropriate time. Going ahead and granting interview on this subject is irresponsible on the side of Ayuk Tabi. It is irresponsible, and such things should not repeat itself again. Still again, in Amba to Amba, in the great state of MANYU, in Akwaya, we have previously heard of the assassination of an Amazonian general called Field Marshal de Game, who was killed by forces in MANYU that calls themselves Restoration Forces. Today, it has not yet stopped, and we still continue to engage them. The IG that's supposed to be projecting itself over them is nowhere to be found, and things are not getting any better. And we think it's important to engage our public on this issue. Today, 2 days ago, actually, the Ambazonian general, one of them in the MANYU, who have been behind the AMF and the group called the Ground Zero Group, have wiped out his entire unit. General Eta, he came to his barracks, disarmed his soldiers, put their weapons in a secured room, and asked his soldiers to stay on the ground for them to be invaded by La République du Cameroon, and the entire unit of General Eta was wiped out and their weapons securely handed to La République du Cameroon. We want to inform all Ambazonia, if you are in contact with General Eta, please know that he is a compromised soldier and he's working with La République. We had previously warned that Eta was receiving money and gifts from the La République colonial mayor of Manfi regularly, on a regular basis, and that message, that warning, have never been heeded. Today, we are two days ago, we had the very bad information that his entire unit have been wiped out. Also, yesterday in Away village in Akwaya, you also had an incident where the forces of Fear No Bullet have gone into rampage and attacking another Ambazonian forces and killing a soldier. Jagaban, who is a force under Fear No Bullet, have assassinated Okro, one of the Ambazonian RAF as well, in Akwaya, in the great state of MANYU. Still, for Amba to Amba, for the Savannah state, would get big problem the way it happened, for instance, Chomba. As we know very well, the Chomba ADF barracks, the barracks we did for Chomba, it will be an ADF barracks where then they work with ADF, they be supplied by the ADF, be under the control of the ADF, until recently, when the forces are now having have gone rogue. The second in command of the barracks in Chomba have gone rogue and is on the rampage. The soldiers in Chomba, they are now attacking and trying to stop the ADF from opening a new barracks within the Chomba axis, which is very important. They don't have the right to do so, and I want to let them to know that they should stop any attempt to stop a new barracks from being opened in that area. The people of Chomba, we have just had a problem when 3 Ambazonians have been arrested in the United States for organizing kidnapping for ransom. Today, the children of Chomba are being demanded that all children in the diaspora in Chomba, their family bags at home, should give 500,000 colonial currency for each of their household. Otherwise, they will face consequences from the barracks in Chomba. This issue is being perpetrated by former SDF members who have been giving money to the second in command of Foolish Man and causing havoc and making sure that the ADF command and control is undermined. We are talking about Gideon Anu Asanji and Atanga Belmondo Achiri, who are all in South Africa. These are part of the SDF network that have been battling the Ambazonian nationalist movement right from the beginning of the struggle. These are the people that form the core of the internal manipulation that La Republic is able to do to Ambazonia. All SDF former members who are seen as people who were close to the people's plight initially have become a thorn in the flesh in Ambazonia. So in Chomba, you have these individuals who have been associated with the IG, are now undermining the ADF command and control in Chomba, asking soldiers to collect money from family members who are in the diaspora without any territoriality or any collectivity. These are the type of things that has brought disrepute to Ambazonia, and we want to send out a warning to all Ambazonian forces in Chomba to stop listening to these guys, to stop intimidating their own and exposing themselves to a backlash that will reduce the population support to the soldiers and to allow the new barracks that the ADF is setting up there to take place. Our forces in Chomba have been diverted. They have focused so much on taking money, extorting money. Even from Sansan boy, people have been charged, households have been charged inappropriately and without any rationale, excessively, in particular in Chomba. The forces there have now become forces just to collect money from projects that pass through Chomba, huge sum of money that are collected that goes directly to them without any accountability and without any substantial input to the liberation infrastructure in Ambazonia. They are now fighting mainly to protect financial interests, not about fighting to fight against La Republic. This is just a group of guys now under the second in command of General Foolishman who are in Chomba and are interested only to secure the money that they collect. It has come to a stage where they will intervene to stop other forces from establishing themselves there, which they are establishing themselves to fight against La Republic. And this should stop. This should stop. We will not take this. And if it means that we will have to address this issue again, we'll come back to it. But we are calling on the population in Chomba. We want to inform them that we have heard their plea, we have heard their concern, and we have taken note. We'll work on the backstage to make sure we handle this thing appropriately. And once again, to end on a high note, we want to congratulate our forces that have brought down 8 La Republic to Cameroon, their terrorist military in the great state of Bui. We'll continue to monitor the situation. Lele Afrique have been missed, and next time we hope we will get him. While in Mancon, we are preparing for Makwe, but La Republic to Cameroon have been violating. The palace have allowed La Republic to Cameroon to violate the approval we gave for this ceremony. We have told them La Republic terrorist occupation military should not occupy the palace ground. They are still in the entrance. They have hoisted their flag. It is not acceptable. If this occasion is to go as according to our approval and according to our guidelines, all these things should stop. If it doesn't, we will disrupt this occasion, and we are capable of putting an end to this occasion. Further instructions and engagement on this topic will come subsequently. Capo Daniel, signing off.